Hi, 6th of October. This is the first series of videos for October. I didn't have the time to do them later. October started not in a very exciting way. I mean, we're making money, but it's quite boring. And the market are very, very nervous that everything is happening. And the range are tight, and then you have enormous breakouts at very strange time of the day. So it's very, very difficult to stick to our rules, but we have to. And the system is not particularly designed to cope with these kind of markets, but still, mostly we're doing 5-10 tick scalps, and we're still ahead. Let's start with Euro US dollar as usual. Euro US dollar is in a very tight range, and it's very difficult to trade. There was a filter here because it was way too close to S1. Same way on the other side here, was way too close to the pivot. Keep in mind that this is 07, 87. This is a 20 points range, so it's really nothing. He breaks it here again, but this is after 10 o'clock, and we don't trade after 10 o'clock. After 1 o'clock, well, we have a signal here, but we really have to wait for this break, and we have this break. Now notice what happens here. The market is not really directional in this sense. There's quite a lot of spikes up and down. It goes down 5 or 6 points. You have one breakout, and immediately the bulls reject this breakout. The bears take control again, and you have a double bottom. Now in these situations, I just don't want to risk, and I would have got out here at break even. The stop was up here. You might have moved it a few ticks above the pivot point. So even if you had these retracements, you would probably not have been stopped out, and the market will go back on this downside. And as you can see, the system is not particularly good at coping with this kind of yo-yoing kind of things, at least not of this kind. And so ideally you should have re-entered here, but you didn't have a signal. You had to wait for the signal here, which would have been another breakout. So you would have taken this breakout here with a stop up here above the moving averages. And again, you might have made 4 or 5 ticks. This is the second attempt, double bottom, and the market will go up. You did have a big spike, and this is quite typical of these days. I don't know what happened here. It was anyway after 4 o'clock, but as you can see, it's a very nervous market, very difficult to trade. Now cable was quite frustrating today. This is the London Open. You have a buy signal. You can enter here for a scalp to the pivot point. As it happened, I saw that the pivot point wasn't reached, and the market was going down. So in this kind of situation, I usually close at break even, but in this situation, it just took 4 or 5 ticks and closed down at break even. Stop would have been down here. The market then rallies. You have to filter this one. This is way too close to the daily pivots, support, resistance here. As you can see, the market bounced from here and rebounds from here. Now the real movement happened here when we don't trade, you know, there's nothing we can do. I mean, we can't. I personally can't trade 24 hours or 8-9 hours a day. So usually very little happens after 10 o'clock and before 1, but in this case quite a lot happened. Now unfortunately this was the afternoon. There was a chance of a re-entry, considering the market has gone down quite a lot, but of course everybody's bashing cable, rightly so now. So there was a good opportunity, but look at the time, it's 13:20, 1:30 news, so we couldn't trade this. Even if it moved well before the news, this is again quite typical, and nothing really happened on the news. But we had to filter this stuff on the news. After this uncertainty, no news, and it would have been really, really aggressive to take this short here after all this drop here. And I filter this one, and nothing else. This is nothing happened because this is after 4 o'clock. Okay, let's have a look at oil. There's some non-advanced standard and advanced trades here. So the first one is this one. The market goes down, you have a signal, and so you could have entered at this level here, about 51. The market goes down. It doesn't give you your normal 10 points, but you see that it starts actually retracing on this level here. So again, I decided that I could take 5 or 6 or 7 ticks and get out and see what happens next. That would have been one thing. Now the advanced thing to do is to re-enter. Now the market went down here, it tested this support here. You've been taken out here, but if the market continues and it goes down, breaking this support here, you can actually re-enter. The stop will be more or less where you entered last time, and in this particular case you would have made another 9 points, probably 10 points, and these are the things that we are doing quite a lot these days, because you have quite big spikes, and usually you enter and maybe you take the first lot out, but you stop at break even many times, and then the market continues. So re-entries are a good way to exploit the trend, even if the trend is a little bit yo-yoing. But the other thing is that you don't have to use it too much. I mean, I take usually the second leg, sometimes the third, but not more than that. Now here I was extremely lucky, because this was exactly just before 10 o'clock. I was about to click to cancel my order, and it was hit. And again, this is another characteristics of this market these days. They just go up and down on a whim, and you can see here there was a big spike, but that was enough to give me my 10 points and more, because it didn't stop at break even with the second half, if you have more than one lot, of course. Same thing here. Again, I was quite lucky. I entered actually just after 1 o'clock when the market reopened, and it was a little bit hairy here because it retraced immediately. As long as it stays above this, I'm quite happy, and the market went up, taking out actually more than 10 points, because I put the stop at the pivot point. Again, re-entry, you see you still have this buy signal here. The re-entry could have been here with a target at this point here. It would have taken quite a lot of patience, but you could have got it up here. The market then went down. There were some rumors about Saudi, something with Iran. Now, this would have been a valid trade, especially if you actually gave a little bigger buffer just below the pivot point. And I didn't take it because, well, it was Gus, it was 3:30. Usually there are some news, it was Gus news and so on. And I think I was lucky enough today with these two trades, and I didn't want to push it. So this would have been a very aggressive stance, and it should have been filtered.